Not quite sure if you're going to love the cars in the wet, though, as much as we do in the dry, but it's certainly going to turn things around here in terms of race strategies. With a couple of these guys on slick tyres, and depending on what they've decided to go out on, should be an interesting way to finish up the day's proceedings at round 1 of the Regional Extreme Festival here at the International World of Motoring Zwartkops Raceway. A couple of bets in the background saying how many spins Mel Spur can have in her debut in the high school class as she stepped up to triple ones for the first time this year after 21 seasons in Super Hatch. It's great to have the lady back into this one. There she is in the middle of the shot right now in the yellow bonnet, and 2 laps behind the safety car is going to give these guys and girls an indication as to how things have changed up compared to their first race. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that production car was an all-wheel drive car. It wasn't just a rear-wheel drive car like they've got in GDCs. So has JP van der Walt got maybe a slight advantage over the rest of the pack of cars having an all-wheel drive car? Lucas Besaiden has decided, no, I'm not going to be participating in this one. It's too wet out there for the Lexus and the amount of power I've got behind that Pretoria Noord Toyota sponsored Lexus of the boss man. And he's decided to pull into pit lane as we are now lights ablaze and rain coming down here in a big way. Van der Pfeiffer has certainly got an all-wheel drive car, and he's decided he's had enough too. Maybe it's the slick tyres that they're running. He's not looking forward to that too much. I like the fact, as I said, that we've got that Engine Extreme livery on the Audi. Terry Moss Racing colours there that are running on that car, although JP van der Walt is sponsored, of course, by Platinum Wheels, his own company. Incredible car dealership that he runs. It's supercars and high-end cars that are provided to the public there from Platinum Wheels' point of view. Behind him, ACD Welcomes Leonard Archer in the Type R Civic Honda. George Economides in the turbo-powered Wealth Avenue Golf 1. And it's Car Care Clinics Voterus Henning ahead of Chris Smith in the Porsche. Roland Hopkins. And you can see the big field coming through there. Lebotsky and Mel Spur will be alongside each other. The Shield Golf 1 versus the Polo of Mel Spur. She's just up the road there from Didi Machila. So a slightly smaller field compared to what we saw. And I did also hear in the background a couple of chirps saying how many guys are actually going to go out there in the wet weather conditions. Always a risk, particularly if you don't have semi-slicks, or at least a set of maybe some normal road-going tyres that you want to throw on at this stage. It's not a bad option to run on, as the Pretoria Noord Toyota peels off into pit lane and hands the start duties over to Bob Neal, who will dictate the pace alongside JP van der Walt to start the second heat of Car Care Clinics 111 GD Sports and Saloons. Lights out and down towards turn 1 they go. Line astern, in fact. Everybody just following through. And not going to go and show too many intentions just yet. There's 8 laps of action to come your way. You don't want to be chucking it away in the first couple of corners in these tricky conditions. JP van der Walt already putting pressure onto the back end there of Bob Neal though. And I think the Porsche may have just spun out as well in the background there. So Chris Smith might have just got it out of shape there. I think it was the first Porsche of Smith that was a little bit out of shape. Mel Spur with Lebotsky trying to close things down there on the Honda. That Ballard of Rob Clark being caught now. Those two, Henning already looking to find a way through there on Voterus. Windscreen wipers flat out there on both Voterus and his stablemate Pete Potgieter's cars. As the Repsol 93 Mark Marquez colours goes through there of Henning. Potgieter trying to come on the inside as well, and a change up for the lead. I kind of thought that might be the case. JP van der Walt possibly using the all-wheel drive ability of the Audi in these wet conditions to his advantage. Potgieter hits the front ahead of Henning, and Voterus trying to find a way through on him as well. Behind that, Michael Krobler and Roland Hopkins, Machila. Then it's Lebotsky, the 13 car coming through there as well, as I said, of Rob Clark, as they complete their first lap in anger. Well, it's kind of a wet anger right now. It's Van der Walt tries to hang on to the front end of this field. Conditions worsening as we're getting into this one. That's the Porsche again. Shape that Martini Racing Porsche, the number 70 machine. Getting it a little bit out of shape there is Chris Smith. It's 944, of course, not the 924. That's a bit further back in the pack. But that 944 has spun twice now in these tricky conditions. See Machila coming through there. The Genelec machine. And the other Porsche, of course, is the 924 version. And that's Marius Moharba who's at the wheel of that one. So that's 2, 3 and 4. Pulling away now from Potgieter in the rain. He's ahead of Henning and now ahead of Vota. Vota taking a bit of strain out there in the rainy conditions. Roland Hopkins about to dive on his inside. Looks like Machila might be coming along for the ride as well. Mal Spur tucked in behind Wayne Lebotsky. Oh, I wonder if there's going to be a case of Mal Spur's going to catch Vota. Imagine the flight back to Cape Town tomorrow between those two. If she gets to beat Vota on her debut in Triple One. She kind of touted that this morning when I saw her. She was looking forward to possibly getting through on Vota, and she's about to. Here we go. Mal Spur on the inside of Vota Roos passes. Looks like Vota's got a problem. Vota just out there circulating at this stage. I wonder if those tyres are taking a bit of strain. He might be battling a little bit in the wet conditions. I did see the indicator go on. I wonder if he's going to be pulling in. Looks like there's a problem there. Vota Roos with a problem on the Car Care Clinic Golf as it pulls into pit lane. Mel with the window open now, trying to get a bit of air into the cockpit so that the windscreen doesn't mist up too badly. Fortunately, she's got windscreen wipers that are working well. She's ahead there of Rob Clark, closing down on Wayne Lebotsky. Fluff about to be caught by Lebotsky. So Michael Krobel will have to keep his eyes on his rearview mirror as the two Golf ones come up close and personal. Rob Clark closing down on the back end now of Mal Spur. Come out of turn 2 onto that back straight away. Seeing Potgieter pull away from the Triple One point of view. He leads out the Triple One battle ahead of Henning. And looks like could be a change up here as well, as that 12 machine of Medium Fana goes on the inside. Fana looking for a way to get through there on Roland Hopkins. Hopkins side by side with Mfana as they head to the top of the hill. Bob Neal hanging on for second for now. He's got a very determined George Economides on his tail. And right behind him, lining up there, is the ACD Velcom Honda of Leonard Archer. Economides pulls out. Not close enough to have a go. Problem with the more powerful GT cars here in the wet is that they will battle to get the power down with the lack of traction that the track is providing right now. It's going to be asking a lot from the Dunlop tyres here. They're going to have to work almost probably double time, triple time than what they normally do in the dry conditions. Bob Neal was quickest on the last pass though. He was quicker than JP van der Walt. But look at the gap that JP's got. Bob Neal heading into turn 2. JP van der Walt heading out of turn 4. That's the gap that they've got between the Audi in first place and Bob Neal in second with Economides and Archer on his tail. And it is Pieter Potgieter, Francois Henning and Mdi Mfana who's having a fantastic run. Possibilities of a podium here from Mfana if he stays where he is. And an Archer also looking for a podium, but he's just off it at the moment in the GT class. Coming up on some back markers now. JP van der Walt will be biding his time, looking to try and pounce and get through as quickly as he can on those back markers. But to avoid incidents with them is also just as important. We've seen Chris Smith with 2 issues so far this race in the 944 Porsche. Now heading down towards the hill, George Economides pulls out of the spray. I don't think he's close enough to have a go at Bob Neal. Bob Neal just keeping him honest for now. Tiptoeing around. Really is tough at these conditions with 3 to go. Completely changed up compared to what we saw in race number 1. Dry, ideal, overcast conditions, perfect for racing. Now, completely different. Michael Krobel about to be caught and passed by Mal Spur into turn number 8 as we watch Lebotsky closing on the back end. Potgieter has lost out. Potgieter's made a mistake. So Potgieter's dropped from the lead down into 4th place. Mal Spur closing up into 6th place overall in her first time out, or second time out I should say, but first time in the rain. She's always been good in the rain, that's for sure, even in Super Hatch. Using the advantage probably of the lesser powered car there to tick through some of these quicker cars ahead. Following Labotsky on his path to the front as Potgieter gets passed by him. So Henning is the lead car in 111. There you go. The 93 Repsol Honda colours of Mark Marquez and Francois Henning leading out over Mfana and Hopkins. Those are your top three in the battle for what is going to be 111s. In fact, Roland Hopkins leads out Class B in that battle too. So not only is he second on the road in 111s, he's second in the 111 class, but he's first in his category of Class B. Malspur coming up alongside Pete Potgieter as they head towards the top of the hill. Labotsky hangs on just ahead of them. Shield Golf 1, always a good contender. Potgieter might be battling with a bit of visibility, I think there. You can see from the windscreen, a bit more difficult to see Pete. And if we look through from this side, thanks Craig for that, you can actually see that's the one reason he's battling. I think visibility on Potgieter's car is probably the biggest factor there as Malsberg comes alongside him. So Mal looking for a chance now on Potgieter down into turn number 8, but she's not going to chance it. This is an opportunity. She's probably going to hang on there and find a better one later on. Labotsky, you can see he's probably trying to get a glove onto that windscreen to get a little bit of vision. Not always easy to do racing in these conditions, particularly when you don't have the ventilation in the cars to stop the windscreens from misting up. Corbler right there, so is Rob Clark. Look at that, you can see it visibly. Malspur's certainly got a lot more visibility out of that front windscreen than Pete Potgieter's got, but Potgieter trying to use his advantage of the knowledge of where the track goes. How's this? About to start his last lap. In Engine Extreme Lubricant Audi colours, running for platinum wheels, JP van der Walt. What a run here from this man. It's only, I think, the 4th time that this car has been in action behind JP van der Walt. And the first time out we saw it in just all white colours. As I said, nice little touch here from him to run in the old production car colours of Terry Moss Racing's very, very capable and championship winning teams of Michael Stephen and Chop Sapuka. Smith trying to keep the 944 on track. Back straight for JP van der Walt. Massive advantage over his second place man, Bob Neal, in the Ford Focus RS. Pete Potgieter still stays ahead of Malspur, only just. In fact, Bob Neal, it looks like he may have lost out to George Economides in the closing stages there as well. So a change up for second in the GT class. Economides has moved ahead of Bob Neal. No one's going to catch this man though. Brilliant bit of driving here. Just showing his ability in a race car. He's been a top contender not only in this category, now that he's come into it, but he's also a massive contender in the Global Touring Car Super Cup class, as well as the road class of the Neisner Hill Climb. Winning that back-to-back and looking for a third victory. But he's taken a victory here today for the second time. And this time it's the Audi that wins out of JP van der Walt with a huge gap over the Martini Racing coloured Golf 1 of George Economides. There it is. Economides into turn 6 with Bob Neal on his tail, but I think Economides is going to hang on for this one. And this is going to be the two that are going to be running to the line for second and third place in the GT class. So Economides is going to hang on as he comes through there. Is he going to be able to possibly squeeze through there? No, he's not. Bob Neal pushes him to the line, but it's Economides who wins out. Looking for Henning now. That'll be the next car we look for. The Repsol coloured Marquez colour is definitely going to be the car we're watching for, heading towards the line. And as they come down the hill, this is where we're going to sort things out for the 111 side of things. Labotsky, Potgieter, just in their mix there was Leonard Archer. Archer comes through. Malspur, good drive there from her. So as we wrap up our race day here from Zwartkops, we get confirmation of our results in the top 15 anyway, waiting for that timing monitor just to flip over. JP van der Walt wins out over George Economides and Bob Neal, the top 3 there. overall and in the GT class. Francois Henning beats out Ndim Fana and Roland Hopkins ahead of Wayne Labotsky, Leonard Archer, Hortkita, and Mal Spur, top 10 for her first time out in what is jokingly referred to as our high school class for Mal Spur. She steps up from Super Hatch into the 111 class. Great bit of driving from all the drivers. Well done to all those drivers for keeping it on track as much as possible, and an amazing effort as always here to finish up the day's racing.
Yeah, it was quite fun. Race 1 went well for us. We underpowered. We knew it was going to be tough. We were hoping for the rain. It wasn't easy on full slicks, I can tell you that. The Quattro definitely helped, but I think we should have opted for wet weathers or semis, but it was good fun.
Interesting second race. Obviously the heavens didn't open fully just before we went out, but managed to make the circuit wet enough that it's a bit more than damp. I'm not spectacular in the wet, but I had lots of fun. I managed to pass enough people, and I think finish high up the sharp end, and obviously beating Vota, you got to beat your other half, and whether it takes the wet to do it, I'll take it. So good day at Zwartkops, always well organised, and just a superb race meeting. Thanks.